The 2025 headphones market is already starting to look crazy, and one might think it is safe to assume that these are yet another forgettable pair of headphones. But now that I've lived almost a week with them, I've realized that there are so many things that are so well executed that Sennheiser or even other reviewers haven't mentioned that make these one of the best underrated value for money pair of headphones to ever exist on the planet. In case you're wondering, by the way, this is what you get when you order a Momentum 4. I think smartphone brands should start learning from Sennheiser when lecturing about the environment. There's not a single plastic packaging inside the box. Everything comes within this pretty hefty high quality case. You get the pair of headphones, the charging cable, the aux cable, the airplane adapter, and some papers. There's no holding back. So for the past 5 years, I've persistently put off the idea of using over-ear headphones. And no matter how many people have recommended them, I've always said I'm just a hardcore earbuds kind of guy. Over-ear headphones have always given me terrible headaches. They are weighty, and Indian summers are just not the perfect weather for using one of these. So how did I end up ditching my priced Bose QC for the Momentum 4? It all starts with the way these headphones are built. It is lightweight, it has just the right amount of clamping force, it fits all sizes, the ear cups are smoothly extendable, and most importantly, the cushioning of the ear cups and the headrest are so soft that it literally feels like a pillow around your head. And this extreme freedom of movement means they adapt to the shape of your face, effectively sealing your ears shut, which means incredible passive noise cancellation. And when you top that up with the active noise cancellation, it just gets even better. So you might already know how top-end headphones use microphones to listen to surrounding sounds and send out opposite sound waves to neutralize them. And these have got 4 beamforming microphones for that. I've tested literally for hours controlling external noise at different levels with a decibel meter to see what is the absolute breaking point, and I think it is very close to my Bose QC. It blocks around 85% of the external noise. But there's one thing that can absolutely make or break active noise cancellation, and that is wind noise. And the Sennheiser engineers exactly knew what they were doing over here. These headphones come with adaptive noise cancellation, and that means it can auto-adapt the amount of ANC based on the external noise. That not only gives it a massive battery life boost, but at the same time reduces wind noise to a great extent and makes the ANC more natural sounding. It is still not perfect, but I think they are much better than the Bose QCs. But if you want manual control, you can actually pinch on this massive touch-sensitive area to set the amount of ANC manually, or just double tap to switch on transparency mode, which also very conveniently pauses your music. And then it feels like the headphones literally just disappeared from your ears. Talking about the touch area, it just makes sense. When I'm in the middle of designing a set and I can't even remember where I kept my phone, I can swipe to change the tracks, adjust the volume, or tap once to pause or play the music. Answering or rejecting calls is also just a swipe away tool, which honestly feels more natural and reliable than a tap or double tap, which you might accidentally trigger. Trust me, that happens more than you think. Beyond touch controls, there is also a physical button which acts as both the power and pairing switch. You also get a USB-C port for charging, an aux input for wired listening, and a row of LEDs that show your battery status at a glance. And it looks just as premium as it performs. It comes in 3 beautiful finishes and 2 more extra variants. And I honestly think the one I have is the best looking of the bunch. But this isn't just a good looking pair of headphones, it's beauty with brains. You see, Sennheiser isn't some 4-year-old smartphone brand suddenly pretending to care about sound. They have been mastering audio for over 80 years, and you can feel all of that heritage is distilled into this one device. And when you start listening to it for the first time, there's just no turning back. It's neither clinical grade flat sound, nor is it heavily boosted at a particular range of frequencies. It just hits the sweet spot in the middle, and that is what they call the Sennheiser signature sound. It's just enough to give the music the punch, the energy it needs without losing clarity. But the more interesting part is, you're not stuck with it. Like most premium headphones, the companion app gives you the access to presets, all fine-tuned to the same level of finesse and engineering. But that is also not the entire story. There is a bass boost if you're into heavier low end, a podcast mode that subtly lifts vocals for more clarity, and then comes the game changer: sound personalization. This is hands down the most unique feature I've ever seen on a pair of headphones. And frankly, the reason I can recommend these to almost anyone, no matter your taste in audio. Basically, when I tap on this, Sennheiser starts playing different combinations of instruments. On this page, I can choose whether I want to hear more of the bass than the instruments, or the other way around. They run a few more similar tests and builds a custom sound profile tailored for me. One that I can even fine-tune further, making this pair of headphones literally the best I can ever own, because it is now tailored to my listening preferences performances. But there is one small caveat: it is only supported in the standard audio resolution and not in high resolution, which is kept aside for audiophiles. It uses Qualcomm's aptX adaptive technology, and today I'm going to say something very controversial. I think it's actually better than LDAC. On paper, LDAC has the marketing advantage of higher maximum bitrate, but there is one big issue with this codec: latency. And this is the exact pain point that Qualcomm hits with their aptX adaptive. It can squeeze out high-resolution audio just like LDAC, but it also can intelligently adjust the bitrate based on the situation. And that means insanely low latency in games. Everything is almost instant, and I think this is as good as Bluetooth audio devices can actually get. Talking about Bluetooth, it comes with version 5.2, which is not the latest, but just for a comparison, the Bose QC buds actually come with Bluetooth 5.3, and these have the reputation of frequently dropping connection, which I also sadly started experiencing recently. That never happens with the Momentum 4. This thing also supports dual device connectivity, and just to find out how quickly I can switch, I randomly paused and played audio from separate smartphones, and there is almost zero lag in switching. The two devices with wildly different software feels like one. I guess this is the closest we have come in uniting Apple and Android fans. Okay, since we are already into connectivity, let's also do a call test. These headphones come with 4 beamforming microphones that excel in precision pickup of your voice. To get things started, I'm currently connected over a call, and the entire thing is recorded on the iPhone 16. If you want to attend online meetings and calls, this will give you a general idea of how they perform inside a quiet, untreated, normal room. I have a fan kept on the desk that I will just turn on at full speed, so you can get a more realistic idea of how it will work with wind noise projection. And just to make things even worse, I'm going to play some traffic noise. So I have my MacBook over here. Let's play some traffic noise. And this is how it sounds right now. I think these tests are a bit too much, but at the same time, they are also very important to judge the call and microphone quality of the audio device. The call sounds great too because they benefit from the comfort call feature, which gives them a much more natural soundstage. These mics also work with all the AI assistants very well. They support Gemini, Google Assistant, and Siri. Finally, let's talk about the Sennheiser Smart Control Plus app, which is the pairing app for these headphones. Although much of them are already covered, I think there are some very interesting features in this section. The first one being Sound Zone. This is very interesting. You can set certain EQ presets or noise control modes to turn on automatically when you enter or leave a marked location. This means that the headphones can automatically switch to transparency modes when you leave your house and turn on ANC when you reach the office. Then there's the Find Headphones feature, which shows the last seen location of the headphones. Then you have all the other features like noise control, manually setting the amount of ANC or transparency, wind noise reduction settings, transparency during calls, and the option to auto pause audio during transparency. There's a page dedicated to manage the list of connected devices, and when you use this app, you will understand that Sennheiser has cared about all the little things. I'm a designer by heart and soul, and this is by far the cleanest execution I've ever seen, while also managing to cramp in extra features that other audio companies do not provide or even care about. You can see that they have heavily focused on user experience, which is why almost all features are accessible without having to create an account. And they also consistently roll out updates for the firmwares in the headphones to make the experience even better in the long term. And that brings us to the end of this video. What about the batteries? You didn't mention about the batteries. Oh, yeah, batteries. These are wireless headphones. They need batteries. Just tell me how much of it is left. How much? It's showing 100%. What? When did you even charge it? No, I don't remember. Well, they come with an insane 60 hours of battery life, which is no joke. I've been using them for a long time. In fact, I edited the entirety of the last video using this pair. And even after that, if you manage to drain the entire battery, you can use the pretty high quality aux cable provided to plug in and listen. But good luck finding a phone that has 3.5mm jack. They also support fast charging. How much do you think 10 minutes of charging can give you? 60 minutes? 120 minutes? No. 480 minutes of listening, which is 8 hours. That is like how long my iPhone lasts. A full charge according to Sennheiser takes 2 hours. That now officially brings us to the end of this video. Or does it? I think the upcoming Prime Days sale from 12th to 14 July is the perfect time to get your first Momentum 4s, because there will be some very good offers, and the same offers will be available on Sennheiser's official website. The more interesting part is Sennheiser is giving away a free BTD 600 Bluetooth dongle worth 6,000 rupees along with every Momentum 4 purchase from Amazon during the Prime days. By the way, all links are available in the description below. And now that finally brings us to the end of the video. The headphones were sent to me by Sennheiser, but they do not have any input in the script. All opinions are my opinions. The only part they requested me to add was the Prime deal section. That said, you can support this channel on Ko-fi or Patreon. You can get access to special videos, even motion graphic tutorials, ability to vote on what to review next, and a chance to get featured as the producer in the description and credits. Thank you so much for watching. Do like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.